Okay, initially we can consider the measurement of information. Here, at this point onwards, we are going to define information. What is meant by information? Last class I have already said that in this information theory point of view, that message and information are defined in a different way. That is, we will define in such a way that each message contains some information. I repeat, each message contains some information. That is, once we received a message, uh, in some it contains more information. In some other messages, there will be no information. In some time, there is zero information. That is, we have already received a message, but the message contains no information. We define in such a way. That is, for example, I will give some example. It is one message received. Sun rises in east, and another message received. It will be raining today. It will be raining today. Adira, hope yourself. Okay, this I have said that two messages. The sun rises in the east, and another message is it is rainy today. And then, can anyone say that what is the information content in these two messages? That is, I have received two messages: sunrise in the east, and another is it will be rainy today. Can anyone say? It is okay. We know in the first message there is no information. We can say it is a definite event. That is, probability of occurrence that particular event, that is sunrise in east, is probability of that event is 1. That is, it is a definite event. Therefore, uh, anyway, that particular message contains no information. We know all the sun will be rising in east. Then, whereas in the second one, there is a chance of rain, may or may not. It contains some information. Therefore, it contains some information, and um, we are going to define the information in the information theory of point in a quantitatively. That is, mathematically, we are going to represent information in different messages. And here we are making use of probability of occurring of different event. We will see in detail that, and I am going to say here is that is how we can define message and information. That is, information content in different message is different, and it depends on the probability of event. Okay, that is, we can say in the first message that information is 0, and its probability of occurrence is 1, and raining, it will be rainy today. A probability, based on its probability we can define the information content. And if any other event, it is a probability a less value. As the probability is less for a message, uh, uh, for a particular event, then its information content is high. Okay, then here some examples in order to for the measurement of information. Shannon, first question is how to measure information in terms of bits. Here, first one is a die here. Then its outcome can be 1, 2, 3, up to 6, any of them. How the information content of that particular event can be represented at bits. Next is a card. Then probability of getting a particular card. Then what is the information content of that particular event, how it can be represented by bits. Then a lottery. In lottery, chance of getting that lottery, how it can be represented using bits. That is information content of that different particular event. And in Mars, and here different probability, based on its probability, chance of getting water at the surface. These are different information. Then how these information can be represented as bits. It was the first aim of the channel. Then probability. Okay. Shannon showed that it's only one variation in terms of number of bits. Here, a function, we will see this function h of x. It is defined as equal to sigma x p of x log to the base 2 p of x. Here, x is a particular event and a set of events, and p of x is the probability of occurring that event. And here, this function is termed as entropy, and we can see the values, and we will define all this information entropy and the later information rate. Actually, this h of x entropy is the average information. We will see it later. Here, see this function h of x. It is defined as negative of sum of x p of x logarithm to the base 2 p of x. We can consider different examples. That is tossing a dice. We know the outcomes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and each occurs. A fair die is here, and therefore each occurs at probability of 1 by 6. And average information, actually it is average information provided by tossing a dice is, we can calculate using the previous equation h of x. H equal to, that is sigma negative minus of sum of I equal to 1 to 6 p of I log p of I to the base 2. Substituting, we get, that is we can calculate the value. It is equal to 2.585 bits. That is, we have got a value here, that information provided by tossing a dice is 2.585 bits. Okay, the number 2.585 bits is not an integer. What does you mean? That is, initial thinking was, once we have calculated that average information, that entropy, which is denoted as h of x, we have got 2.585 bits. This 2.585 bits of information, not an integer. Then what it means? It is, here comes the first Shannon's first theorem, which is termed as force coding theorem. It is, according to this theorem, To reliably store the information generated by some random source X, you need no more or less than on the average h of x bits for each outcome. This first theorem, that is, which satisfies that source coding, that is for better uh, compression, that is the source coding theorem must be satisfied. Later we see in detail this source coding theorem. Anyway, earlier we have defined that the aim is reliably communicate with maximal rate through a channel. That initial part reliable. To satisfy that, this source coding theorem must be satisfied. It is that it related to that entropy of that source. Source, a message source. Some messages are coming out of that. Its occurrence of different messages will be different. That is, they have different probability. Then we can calculate the h of x. Then that reliability of that coding, source coding, depends on the entropy of that source. We will see some examples to many problems, then it will be more clear. Anyway, note these points: reliability, entropy, source coding. Okay, then we can see that is, if I toss a dice 10 lakh times and record the values from of each trial, first it was 1, next it is 3, 4, 6, like that. This, in principle, I need 3 bits for storing each outcome, as 3 bits covers 1 to 8. This here we will have to represent 1 to 6. If you are using 3 bits to represent each, that is, one is represented as 0, 0, 0, then 0, 0, 1, like that, up to 6. We are using 3 bits. Then this here outcome of a toss coin 1 to 6, and each outcome is represented using 3 bits, that is 1 by 0, 0, 1, then 2 by 0, 1, 0, like that. Then we are in need of 30 lakh bits for storing this information. This here 10 lakh times that tossing of a die, in order to record each information corresponding to each outcome, we will have to use 30 lakh bits. Then if you are using ASCII representation, that 8 bits, that is equal to 1 byte for storing each outcome, the resulting file size as 80 lakh bits. Okay, that is, 1 is represented by corresponding ASCII, 2 is represented by corresponding ASCII. Then we will have to in need of 80 lakh bits. Then, but Shannon said you need only 2.58 bits for storing each outcome. This, there is no need of 3. That is, for reliable coding for that of that particular experiment, that is tossing a die, only it requires 2.585 bits. If it is okay, we can say that only this much bits is required. That is, if there are 10 lakh uh, trial occurred, then 20 in order to record the information corresponding to each trial, only 25,085 25 lakh 85,000 bits required. If it is compared with that ASCII code, then we can say an optimal compression ratio. That is, here it is 25 lakh 85,000. In the other case, it is 80 lakhs, therefore a 32.31 compression ratio. You can say this much compression is. It is less number of bits required for reliable coding.